Hello everyone, my name is Anna Felt. I'm the manager of Empower Women. I would like to welcome you all to this first webinar. We are very excited to have received so many applications and that so many of you are online today with us to kick off the rally for the 4th championship of the Empower Women. So before we go into what Empower Women is all about and what is expected from you during this rally to be selected as a champion, I just wanted to give you a little bit of a background on who we are and how we came about, and you might already have seen it in the About section of empowerwomen.org, but in case you haven't, let me just go through very briefly. So we started in 2013 together with the Government of Canada. UN Women and the Government of Canada came together and organized the conference on women's economic empowerment. And one of the main outcomes of this conference was the establishment of empowerwomen.org. This was in the early days in 2011 that led to the 2013 launch of empowerwomen.org. And I would like to, before I continue, I would just like to mention to you if you have any issues with hearing or anything. Yes, if you can all mute your microphones while you're not speaking. Thank you so much. So why are we here? We are here to really drive the women's economic empowerment agenda. And we do that as a global team. It's myself, Anna Felt, I'm based here in New York, together with 3 of my colleagues, Eduardo Pereira, Diana Rufo, and Francis Diaz. We're all based in New York. And we will go through these presentations to all of you. And at the end, you will also hear from our regional coordinator, Emad Karim, who is based in Cairo, and is covering the Arab states. Jack Abebe, based in Nairobi, he covers the Eastern and Southern Africa. Miral Guzel, she is covering Eastern Europe and Central Asia, and Yeba Diallo in Dakar, who covers West and Central Africa. We are in the process of recruiting a person from Bangkok and as well as Panama. So you will see a growing team as you engage with us on Empower Women. So in today's webinar, we will go through a little bit, very broadly, what is women's economic empowerment, what you can do on Empower Women, the rules of the rally, and what's next. And then in the last 25 minutes, we'll give you a chance to ask your questions, and we will answer them as best as we can. And we can also continue engaging by email in case you have other questions after the webinar. So the most important thing that we need to think about, what is women's economic empowerment? What drives you to be interested in this topic, and what is it all about? So the way that we can conceptualize it in many different ways, and you can ask different people and they will have their own definition of how they see women's economic empowerment. And we don't see that as something bad. We see it as something very useful, that there is a debate going on and what it is actually about. And for many people, it means different things. It covers issues such as women's rights in the economy, whether it's rights to land, rights to have a bank account, rights to own a house, or whatever it can be. In different cultural contexts, it might mean different things. It also covers the issue of women's access to opportunities. And these opportunities might be education that eventually leads to a career. It can be access to opportunities in form of training and learning, jobs, but also entrepreneurship, that women have equal access to these opportunities, whether they would like to be an employee or whether they want to be a woman entrepreneur or any other ways. And the third category that we can conceptualize this is women's voice leadership in the economy. That women have a chance to shape the economy and to really be part of the decisions that are made, whether it is in the household, in the community, in the country, or globally, that women have that place at the table when the economic issues are being discussed. So these are the kind of the three pillars: rights, opportunities, and voice and leadership. But you can also look at it from a different perspective. And for those of you who have already explored our library, you can see that we cover issues from policy-related that are the responsibility of governments to put in place gender-responsive policies, all the way down to women's individual leadership skills. So we cover it both from an individual up to the governments and also from the United Nations, how we need to see those shifts in economic policies. And in between, you have the entrepreneurship, employment, you have access to resources. We also have an area that we called, that is about environment and climate change, and access to energy, water, sanitation, and all that, because we believe that that is very closely linked to the women's economic empowerment agenda. And that links very closely to a concept that I'm not sure you have come across yet, that we called here at UN Women unpaid care work. Unpaid care work is a critical area for women's economic empowerment, because if women are tied up with a lot of manual work that might be related to fetching wood, fetching firewood, water, and having to go long distances to go to the bathroom, or to not having access to this basic infrastructure, that will kind of consume her time, that gives her less time to do economic activities. It doesn't mean that we want to reduce all of this unpaid care work, but we also want to value what women do, and that the value is not only put on the money, but also on the unpaid work that ought to be happening in households, in families, with childcare, elder care, taking care of the sick people, etc. So it's a huge domain that we can talk much more about, but I just wanted to mention it very, very briefly. Can we go back to the previous one? Yes. So the mission of Empower Women is really the first sentence, and we will share this presentation with you afterwards, is really about empowering women to make sure that they reach the full potential, whether as individuals or whether as change makers and advocates and leaders in the community. And we do that by providing all of you with resources, opportunities, and this global platform that facilitates networking, learning, sharing experiences. And what we indicate here is really that we are online, but we also trying to mobilize our members to do actions offline. So we try to capture that in our mission here. And the vision is really to get to a world where every woman is able to voice, make her own decisions, and engage in economic opportunities. And out of that, we hope that the world will change when she has all these capabilities in her hands. And our community is, we both have women and men. We think that the involving men is very important, and they are coming from a broad range of sectors: private sector, civil society, academia, governments, and international organizations. And we have a reach in more than 190 countries. So what is this community and what's in it for you? We have accumulated, since we launched in 2013, more than 2,100 publications. We're almost up for our anniversary of the blog, so we have had one per week, and Diana will talk more about that later. We have 191 I Am Woman stories. You will learn more about what that is. 345 discussions have been started, and we have, I think, more than 2,000 responses to these discussions. So we hope that you'll engage in these, both through the rally and beyond. And we have, actually we are about 70 people away from 9,000 registered members, and we have from that about 1,200 people from the US down to 112 in Australia. So it's a big range. At the top, US, Kenya, and Egypt. India is falling behind, if there is anyone from India who might want to know. Canada is laying stable, but we have countries like South Africa, Brazil that are coming up very, very quickly. So I'm asking all of you, did your country make this list? And if not, there might be some actions that you can take the next time we present. Your country will be on the top 10 list. What can you do to ensure this? You can mobilize others to join this movement for women's economic empowerment, whether they register directly or via Facebook. And Francis will talk a little bit more about this later in this presentation. So what can you do? So I will hand this over to Diana and Eduardo and Francis. They will talk a little bit more in details. And Diana, maybe you can start with what you can do if you want to share your story.
Thank you, Anna. Hello, everyone. I would like to welcome and salute from my side as well. And just to say that this is a very exciting period, both for you and for us. There are different ways to share the story. You can share it via We Inspire blog, I Learn, I Am Woman campaign, or via news item. We Inspire blog featured posts from activists, innovators, and leaders who have been thinking about, acting upon, and making a difference for women's and girl participation and leadership in the economy. I have chosen just 4 examples of blogs written by our former champions, and you can see I have a feeling of different range of topics the champions are interested in. For example, as a result of Nepal earthquake, our champion Tsering wrote about the importance of women economic empowerment in the post-reconstruction building in Nepal to rise up and rebuild. Our champion from India, Sushi, she wrote about unpaid care work, a woman getting a raw deal. Our champion from Canada, Yelena, she wrote about the importance of digital media and how you can build your digital print and why and is this helpful for your future career. So this is a very exciting platform where you can share your stories and good practices from your community or from the organizations or communities nearby. Who do you feel that it's important, and you are taking examples of those. Another way to share the story is through iLearn platform. iLearn is a global mobile learning platform for and by women entrepreneurs. Women share their stories behind the business plan, how they arrived at success, and the challenges they face. Structured in 2 components. First is the learning aspect through the stories behind the business plan, as I mentioned prior to that, and through the training courses on business-related topics. You have an understanding that you can actually read the stories and take the courses in different languages. As for now, we have the stories in Arabic, English, Bangla, Hindi, French, Spanish, and Swahili. This platform we also have a story aspect, question to the reader. You'll find some interesting did you know facts, and you will take some lessons that your father one can actually take on and maybe apply during your daily business activities, or give an advice to your friend who already is an entrepreneur or a future to be entrepreneur. I would like to mention also that this is a collaboration with Internet.org by Facebook. EmpowerWomen.org is making iLearn accessible to women in developing countries who use regular phones as well as smartphones. Another exciting way to share your story is via I Am Woman campaign. This is a digital media campaign calling on women and men from all over the world to share through a photo and personal stories what women economic empowerment mean to them. We have so many stories from all over the world, and every day, 5 days per week, we are featuring one new story. The purpose of I Am Woman campaign is to spread awareness and encourage concrete action to and for women and girls' economic empowerment. And here we are taking twofold approach. Women economic empowerment is a fundamental human right, and women are economically empowered. And when women economically empowered, then benefits ripple onwards. You'll find out so many personal stories that are very touching. For example, here you have a story from El Salvador. She's speaking about her business and how she helps women in the community. But as a result of being featured and as a result of being well known through the I Am Woman campaign, she now is a leader in her community for other women as well. So what Lula Mena from El Salvador did, she put the photo of this featuring her story on the wall, and everybody who just comes to her store for buying the jewelries or ask for advice, she's telling all over the world about I Am Woman campaign and how they in turn can be active and can make a difference in their community. So please join the campaign, gain visibility, and receive global recognition about your commitment to support women and realize their full potential in building the economy. Another way to share the stories is through news. If you have something important happening in the community, please share it with us, and we will definitely showcase it through our news and updates section. I will next turn it to Eduardo.
Thanks, Diana. I would like also to talk a little bit how you can join other online activities that we have, and also to open up like debates and contribute to discussions. And so one thing that you can do, and that one thing that the platform offers, is to initiate dialogues and share your views and learn from others. So there is a space that's called knowledge circles, where you can start a discussion. If you have a question about women's economic empowerment in your community that you'd like to gain some ideas, insights on how to sort this out, or how you can advance women's economic empowerment. So you can ask the question, and then other people in the networks will be able to reply to your question and build it up, providing examples, sharing lessons learned, etc. You can also, from time to time, you organize some moderated discussions where we invite some experts from across the world to comment on a specific topic. We had in the past, for instance, discussions around climate change, around unpaid care work, around quality jobs. So, and we invited experts from different organizations and networks to join the conversation. And you could, you can add your comments, add your question, add examples that you would like to share that's working in your community to these discussions as well. So this one that is in the screen is about women empowering decision making that we organized in the past. And then you have the space to have your say about this topic. So it's a really good way to engage in conversations and to look for perspectives from others as well. So that's one way. You have you see when you go to the circles, and we can explore that further when you, during the rally period, but you see there are different ways you can comment on circles. There's the open questions and answers, that's for everyone to contribute and to start a discussion. There's this moderated discussions that we will highlight every time we have one. There's also some queries that we post from time to time around, for instance, rural technology for women, or we post around other issues like justice and women's economic empowerment. So that are the sort of things that we ask about, and usually the queries are to inform governments about changing policy to be more gender responsive, and you can influence that in a way by providing examples in your country. And also there is like an area where you can contribute with questions about technical questions about the platform. If you're find it difficult to find information, or you have a suggestion on how we can improve parts of the platform, there's also a circle that will take care of that. So that's another way to engage with the platform. Another thing that you can do, and we would recommend you to do, is to add a resource to the community collection. What does that mean? We do have like a large collection of publications, case studies, online trainings, and how-to guides, etc. So it's policies. You see, there's a lot of things going on in the library. You do have more than, as Anna said initially, more than 2,000 titles available in the library. And everyone can share. Everyone is encouraged to share. And here it's like the 9 topics that we have content in. So it's about policy, it's about enhancing employment, it's about transforming the workplace, driving entrepreneurship, controlling accessing resources, transforming agriculture, sustainability, sustainable energy and environments, leading for change, and measuring for accountability. Those are the high level topics. But then if you go there, you see there are like granular topics where you can like contribute content to. Another thing that you can do and encourage you to do is to inform us about events and opportunities that other people in our community can benefit from. So if you are aware of a grant that is a call to a paper, a call to action in this case, you can tell us. It's an opportunity. You can share with us, and we will make sure that we will publicize that and make other people aware in our community. It could be posted either on Empower Women, or it could be shared in our social media channels. So there's different ways we can spread out the word about opportunities for an event. About the event, here in the screen, you see an event that we organized recently with the Department for International Development of the UK, UN Women, in partnership with them. And on that event, we are calling everyone to action on how we can transform economies through empower women and girls. So if you, as an individual, or if your organization is doing something or would like to do something in the next years to transform economies and empower women and girls, we would really appreciate if you can make part of this call and join us. We had more than 200 commitments so far, and they come from all different sorts of people and organizations. You see there are like organizations like Care International and regular people like you and I. So it's really a way you can demonstrate your commitment to the cause. And that's relates to what UN has and world leaders have like agree on the Sustainable Development Goals. So it's a new agenda for international development, for sustainable development, and gender is one of the goals for sustainable development. And this is a way you can demonstrate how you can contribute to that specifically. So now I will turn to the rules of the rally. So I just would like to tell you, this time we had about 600 people applying for the championship. That's huge. And you are coming from different parts of the world. We have people from all continents that have applied. So we are very pleased with all the people applying. And we also see on the rally the opportunity for you to demonstrate your commitment to the cause. And during this 1 month period, we'll be assessing your commitment. So we have some tools that will be monitoring your activities on the platform, so we can see how active you have been. So we have a few rules, and we will go through each one of them. But basically, at the end of at the same time next month, we'll nominate the champions, and that will be based on the ones that were most active in the platform. So that's the reason why we're calling the rally now, and you'll be very active this month to show your commitments. How to make the cut? So here are a few ideas of how you can be active in the platform over this month period. There are a few requirements, let's say, and we'll go through each one of them. So the first one is you can do your own research on women's economic empowerment and discuss with people in your community. So you can bring some issues that you're facing in your community and share what's going on, and do some surveys and research and come out with some results and show to us, and we can see how we can display that and work with you on that. The second one, engage in a discussion circle on that topic. So if you have an issue and you see that there's a way I can raise a question to the community and say, oh, what you are doing that is working for you that I'd like to work in my community as well. So there's a way you can engage in discussions as well. If someone opens a discussion, you can contribute, and we really encourage you to contribute to existing questions and discussions. In that way, we can enrich the conversation. You can also like, share, and comment on blogs. Diana told about the blogs and how they inspire people. It's a way you can also do that is by like, sharing, commenting. We are also asking you to contribute at least 2 I Am Women stories. Diana will be the focal point for I Am Women stories, and you can have a look on the Multimedia Center to find out more about it. You also see that every week we send a weekly notification where we feature the I Am Women stories of the week, so you can follow that more closely. Apart from that, we are also asking you to upload at least 5 resources to the Knowledge Library. Remember, quality of the contribution is what we are looking for. So have a look and see what resources you could share in the Knowledge Library. The sixth point is make your commitments for the Sustainable Development Goals call to action, the call to action that I just explained to you. You can find it on empowerment.org/SDG. So make your commitment is part of the recommendations we are doing. Now I'd like to pass the floor to Francis that will talk a little bit about social media.
So another requirement of becoming a champion is that you follow us on social media. I'll be talking about that a little bit more in just a minute, but make sure you follow us and that you engage with us. So pose questions to us and other members of the community, retweet and share our posts so that we can promote our message of empowering women and girls, and also invite your networks to join the movement. Each of you will be provided with a paragraph to promote on social media, on Facebook, and then one that's specifically tailored to Twitter, to invite your friends and your family and your colleagues to join the movement and to register to the platform. So social media today is really important, primarily because everybody is on it. You can connect with anyone all over the world, and so Empower Women is very active on social media. We are active on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and of course you can connect with us on email. So this following us on social media and those are our handles, so if you want to go and look those up, that's where you can find us. Empower Women is very active on all of those different platforms, and this is a great way to keep up with what we're doing because all of the highlights that we do as an organization will be promoted through these different platforms. And this is also a great way for you to engage with us. You can share your story through here, and you can also see what other people are doing. This is also a great way to connect with experts in different areas of women's economic empowerment through just tweeting at them or sending a Facebook message or in any of the Twitter chats that we do, where we have experts in different areas participate and give feedback. Then that's a really great way to get visibility with them or kind of shoot them a note. So that's, I think I'll leave that.
Thank you so much, Frances. So this is Anna speaking again. We're just going to wrap up and also give you, our regional coordinators, an opportunity to speak as well. But I've seen that you have already asked a few questions. Some of the questions relate to how can I engage in a discussion or start a discussion. How can I upload an I Am Woman story? So all the details we will send in a follow-up email to you. We have very clear instructions on how you can contribute to an I Am Woman story, and we'll also provide you with how to initiate or join a discussion. So don't worry about those. We will send you all those details afterwards. And as mentioned by Eduardo and Francis, we have tools that we are going to use to measure your commitment and your activities over the next months on the Empower Women platform as well as on social media. What will come in a month's time, with these tools, we will assess the most dedicated people that have applied and have participated in the champion, and select a limited number of champions with whom we'll be working with in the following 5 months. And in those 5 months, we will work very closely with you. We have people here in UN Women in New York, but we also have our regional coordinators that will work very closely with you in giving you one-on-one discussions on how you can develop your own project. So what we will encourage you to do, and from past experience from the other 3 rounds of champions, you can either work alone on a project, and we had, for example, Chiara from Italy, who's a teacher. She ran her own project in her school district. She did a lot of activities with the students of that school district to raise awareness of gender equality and women's economic empowerment. But we also had other groups that worked as teams. For example, the I Am Woman campaign was conceptualized together with a team of champions. So there are many different ways that we can engage with you, but we will only start with this offline, that we call offline activities, once we have selected the champions for this 4th round of championship. That doesn't mean that you shouldn't already start thinking about, and as Eduardo mentioned, doing some research on women's economic empowerment. Discuss those issues with your friends, family, colleagues. What are those issues, particularly in your community, in your country? And then engage with us on the platform, and through discussion is actually the simplest way to share some of those thoughts and reflections that you have had either by yourself or with your friends and family and colleagues. At this point, we will not provide a list of who are the other ones that compete for the championship. We will list, once we make the selection of the final champions, we will announce it on empowerwomen.org. But until then, you are prospective champions, and we will only announce it in a month's time. So that was, I saw, was another question that had been raised. And I think we will, I know that Emad is there. And Emad, would you like to give a few words? Maybe there has been a few questions if there will be meetings in Egypt. and maybe you want to mention a little bit about the meetings that you are already hosting in Egypt. But also you might want to say something in Arabic to the people in the Arab states. Ahmad.
Thank you, Anna. Hi everyone, this is Ahmad Karim. I'm the regional coordinator for Arab states. I'm based in Cairo, but I'm covering the 22 Arab state countries. I'll be speaking in Arabic, but I want to say for the rest of the champions that are interested in the region and they would like to also contribute, even if they are not from the region, please feel free to contact me. We'll definitely organize meetings in our office in Cairo for those who are based in Cairo, and I know that we had a lot of champions applying from Egypt for those who will be able to join, but we'll also do another call in Arabic for those who couldn't attend this meeting, and for those who are more comfortable to be speaking Arabic. So now I'm going to shift to Arabic. Good luck to everyone. أهلا وسهلا بكم بكل المنصرين اللي قدموا من المنطقة العربية. أنا عماد كريم المنسق الإقليمي ل empowerwomen.org في الدول العربية. أنا المكتب بتاعنا في القاهرة. في الفترة الجاية هبعت لكم إيميل نعمل فيه برضو أونلاين ويبينار بالعربي. وكمان هنحاول ان احنا ننسق ان احنا نعمل اجتماع في المكتب بتاعنا الموجودين في القاهرة لسهولة يعني التواصل. اما الموجودين في بقية الدول العربية فانا هحاول ان كل مرة هسافر فيها لاحد الدول العربية ان احنا ننسق ان احنا نعمل اجتماع في الفترات الجاية. وده كويس للناس اللي جايين خلال الشهر الجاي. هكون في المغرب وتونس ولبنان وفلسطين والأردن، فأتمنى أن أنا أعرف أقابلكم في الفترة الجاية. استنوا مننا إيميل بالتفاصيل إزاي إن أنتوا تشتركوا في السباق، وأتمنى لكم كلكم حظ سعيد إن أنتوا تكونوا من اللي تم اختيارهم في السباق بتاع المناصرين في آخر الفترة دي. شكرا، واسألونا الأسئلة هنحاول إن احنا نجاوب عليها. حظ سعيد. Thank you, Anna. I'm done.
Thank you so much, Ahmad. I see that there actually came one question in Arabic, but I think he was just repeating your name. But we'll try to figure that out. Okay, thank you so much, Ahmad. There was a question from somebody. If you want to share your stories, you need to share them in English. So at this point, we are actually very close to launching Empower Women in Arabic, French, and Spanish, which means that we will have the capabilities to post your stories in these 3 languages. While we don't have anybody, somebody raised the point that we don't have any representative from Caribbean. However, we'll cover the Latin America and the Caribbean from HQ until we have appointed somebody based in Panama. So don't worry about that. How do you connect with people? You connect with people. Some people have chosen not to be wanting to be connected and haven't listed their email addresses. But you can see in everybody's profile, you can see their email that they have listed. And I think most people have an email to be contacted. And I think I encourage all of you champions to put a contact email so that you can engage with others on the platform. But I will hand over the word to Jack. Are you there, Jack, from Nairobi?
Thank you, Anna. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. I want to echo my colleagues' sentiments in welcoming all the champions for this session and hope that we will work together towards the agenda of women's economic empowerment and gender equality. Briefly, my name is Jack Abebe. I am based in Nairobi for Eastern and Southern Africa region. And I'll be very much willing to support any activities or other interventions that have been planned by champions from this particular region. please feel free to contact me at any given time that you have anything to clarify in regard to this particular agenda. Some of the activities that have been done in the past on championship in this region have revolved around agriculture, around literacy, on vocational training, and these interventions have been started by champions from this particular region, and they have sought a lot of support. Some of the interventions have targeted communities, and they have used Google Hangouts, Facebook chats, and other mobile technologies just to liaise and link to other audience and link them to the platform. So we are really looking forward to working with you in order to contribute to various campaigns, a lot of e-discussions, and just shape the regional perspective in this particular agenda. Some champions have started innovative activities in these particular regions, and I also look unto you to seek any guidance if you want any sort of clarity, so that then you are able to also drive this particular agenda. And as we welcome you today, we will be ready to support you to take the agenda forward, and just to have diverse interventions that can complement our work at Empower Women. So we really look forward and hope to work with you together to move this particular agenda forward. Thank you all, and a very warm welcome from Eastern Africa and Southern region.
Thank you so much, Jack. And I'm checking now with Yebe. Are you there from Dakar? Are you there, Yebe?
Hello.
Hi, Yebe. So maybe you can give a brief introduction, and also for those who are online, francophones, maybe you would like to say something in French as well.
Okay. Thank you. Hi everyone. Bonjour à toutes et à tous. Je suis Yebe Diallo, je suis basée à Dakar et je suis la coordinatrice régionale d'Empower Women pour la région de l'Afrique de l'Ouest et du Centre. Je vous souhaite à tous et à toutes un bienvenue, vraiment bienvenue à ce webinaire. Nous sommes ravis de vous avoir parmi nous aujourd'hui. Si vous avez des questions ou besoin de plus de clarification, n'hésitez pas à me contacter directement ou à contacter l'équipe aussi bien en français qu'en anglais. J'espère vraiment que nous aurons une bonne représentation de la sous-région cette année, sachant qu'en plus nous sommes sur le point, comme le disait tout à l'heure ma collègue, nous sommes sur le point de lancer cette plateforme en français. Si vous avez des suggestions sur comment vous aimeriez, sur le contenu ou encore sur certaines informations que vous aimeriez bien avoir en français, nous sommes toutes oui et nous aimerions vraiment avoir votre contribution sur ce plan. Donc en plus de toutes les directives qui vous ont été données, n'hésitez vraiment pas à partager vos idées, vos contributions et comment pouvons-nous, en tant que sous-région, en tant qu'espace francophone, faire avancer cet agenda de l'autonomisation économique des femmes. Merci.
Thank you so much, Yebe. We wanted to also invite Miral in Istanbul. It seems that she had some connection problems. So if she joins during the course of the next 10-15 minutes, we'll ask her to also give a word. But we have received a lot of questions. We are trying to go through them one by one. Many of your comments actually relate to how can you be in touch with us. So we have on each of our profiles, so you can search in the search box. You can search for each of us. You have our names on the screen for your region. And on each of our profiles, we have our email addresses, so you can get in touch with us. You can also find the whole team listed in the About section of the platform, that you can get an easy to see who we are, and you can click on our names and you go straight to our profiles. So that's an easy way to connect. But we will, at the end of the rally, we will also be in touch with the selected champions and work very closely with you. So you might get more emails from us than you wish, but we will definitely be in touch with you. Some of you have asked, what if I'm from 2 different countries, I'm on one nationality and I'm based somewhere else, or I'm traveling a lot? You may want to indicate that in the additional information at the end. So you can choose one country, that you select where you're based, and then you can add any other nationality or any other information that you'd like to add at the additional questions. Somebody is asking, how can I contribute to the library? We will send more detailed information on how you upload your resources to the library. All resources, we have particular guidelines of what we agree to. For example, we are not accepting any material that has a copyright, such as articles in journals, links to websites, because those websites might be broken and it's very difficult to keep track of. So it's PDF documents that we encourage all of you to upload. And we also don't accept anything that costs money. We would like this community be inclusive and that everybody, independent of income, has the right to access our resources. How do you contribute to the Business Hub? At this stage of the rally, we don't have any particular recommendations for you in the Business Hub, but once you've been selected as a champion, we'd like to work very closely with you in identifying businesses in your community that are gender responsive. So you can start thinking about them. In a month's time, we can start looking at what are the gender responsive businesses in your community. Somebody asked, is there anything that is off topic? So in the discussion, in the knowledge circles where the discussions are being hosted, you can talk about anything that you like. We don't want it to be offensive. We don't want you to be aggressive towards other members. But other than that, we'd like you to focus on women's economic empowerment. This is a very broad area of work, as we have talked about already. So it does link to other issues, whether it's political, religion, or whatever you had listed in your comment. But we don't want you to be offensive to any other member. So there is, if you feel offended by somebody's comment, there is a button that you can click on and say, please remove this comment. It hasn't happened so far in the 2 years that we've been running this Empower Women platform, and I think everybody has been very respectful of each other. But other than that, you're free to talk about what you like. Some people already have lined up stories, and then, as Diana mentioned, there are many different ways to share these stories. If it is a 2, 3, 4, maybe even 5 paragraph long story, it can easily be uploaded in the multimedia center where we have the I Am Moving campaign. If it's a longer piece, you can also be in touch with Diana. She is responsible for the blogs if it is about a particular topic. Somebody said that you are working on reproductive health and reproductive rights. It does impact women's economic empowerment, but when we ask you to, if you have a topic like that, or like violence against women, or anything else that is not directly economic empowerment, link it to economic empowerment, because everything is interlinked. Somebody was enthusiastic about helping us to launch the Spanish version, so thank you so much for that. You can get in touch with us. The easiest way is actually to email us empower.women@unwomen.org. You have it all over the platform, and you also have it in this presentation. We have many people that look at that email on a daily basis. So if you have any support or suggestions or stories, you can just email us there. In terms of India, we are maybe 2 weeks away from having somebody covering Asia and Pacific. In the interim, we'll cover both from Cairo and from New York, any other Asia Pacific countries. Somebody would like to know how to load videos. I'm not really sure exactly what you intend to do, but videos can be uploaded to the library as well. If they're short videos and they are directly about women's economic empowerment, the I Am Woman campaign is a multimedia campaign, so you can either have a photo or a video when you upload your videos. And has there been any additional questions? Oh, my country is not on the top list. What do I do? I think that we encourage all of you to make sure that your country makes the top 10 countries. There's a little bit of competition to get at the very top, which you have the US. I think we are about 1,200 people registered from the US, about 900 from Kenya, and about maybe 800 from Cairo. But if you rally your community, your family, friends, you will beat these other countries. So let the rally start, and let all of us see your commitment to women's economic empowerment. Eduardo, are there other questions? Diana, have you seen any other questions? We have a few more minutes left. And if there are more questions, we encourage you to ask them. Of course, you can always email us. Somebody's talking about FGM. So FGM, of course, has an implication on women's economic empowerment. So our platform is about the economic aspects, but there are so many different linkages to women's economic empowerment. Whether it's, I mentioned just now, FGM or reproductive health or violence or any other topic, they're all linked to women's economic empowerment. So bring in it from that aspect. How do these other issues either support or prevent women's economic empowerment? Somebody would like to do a documentary about women's economic empowerment. I think this is a brilliant idea. We encourage all of you to do that. And in fact, Francis has been working on a series of interviews with people here in New York, and we'd like to hear voices from all over the world. So please, any ideas that you have, get in touch with us. The generic email is probably the easiest one to reach us, empower.women@unwomen.org, and we'll start the discussions. So during the rally, you would not have your mentors. So during this is really to show your individual commitment to women's economic empowerment. Once we have selected the champions in a month's time, that's when we will give you the mentors from our team who will be supporting you through the process and what you can do in your community, and you will be working very closely to them. In terms of starting your own social media campaign, of course you have the right to do whatever you want to, but I think it would give more impact on your campaign if we do it together. And what we've had in the past is champions working together as a team to really come up with what should the campaign be about, what should be the messages, and we are happy to support from our expertise in UN Women on what women's economic empowerment is. And also to kind of maybe connect with experts and others. So be in touch with us if you have ideas, and you might also want to engage with other members on the platform. We pick the champions in the past. The way that we pick them is, of course, on the criteria that we put, how to make the cut. We want to see what your commitments are, how you have contributed to the platform, and we try to keep as geographical balance as possible. The first round, I think we had almost 40 champions. Unfortunately, that was just a month after we had launched our platform, so we didn't get the reach as we wanted. So the first time it was actually 29 champions, many of them from the US and from the UK and some other people from other countries. We are very happy that this time around that there's much better, we managed to have a better outreach, and that we reached many of you from all over the world. So we hope that from every country you will have at least the champion, if not more, from your particular country, so that we can keep the geographical balance. We want to keep that in mind, and while still keeping the rules of engagement on our minds. and the tools that we're using to assess your commitments. So we are just reading through your question to see if there's something that we've missed. I see, Sabine, you saying that there's a lot of students asking questions and interesting in entering. Could you elaborate a little bit more on that point? What we can help to get the students on board? So once you have, we have nominated the champions, we will list them on the platform. There are, as Eduardo mentioned, more than 600 applicants. So at this point, we are not going to disclose who you are competing against. But in 1 month, you will see exactly who you can collaborate with from your country or from your region, or even globally. We've had teams that worked across time zones, across cultures, across languages, that have been really, really effective in working together. So we'll get to that in a month's time. If there's an age balance, we actually haven't asked about your age at this point. We were thinking of doing a survey to know a little bit more about you, but I think we will probably do that once we have selected the champions, so we know a little bit more on who you are and how we can encourage people to team up together on different projects. So the recorded session, maybe Eduardo, you want to talk a little bit about how you will disseminate it and in what format it comes?
Yes. So after this webinar, we will share like a follow-up email with the key points, the presentation that you have just saw, and the link to the recording. So you get all these early next week. So yeah, I will share the same way I share through email the other communications we had.
So Swati, you are asking if you can interview women. I think at this point of the rally, we have asked you to contribute I Am Woman stories. And you can either upload yourself, your story, but you can also help women in your community to actually help them upload their story. So if you'd like to interview women as part of the rally, I think the I Am Woman campaign is a very good way to do so. So you would write up on the basis of the interview of these women, you write up their story, and you get their, of course, their consent that you can post their picture and their story on our platform, and then you can upload it and make your contribution that way. Yeah, so I understand that you're asking for both geographical balance and age balance in the selection of the champions. So thank you so much for that. We'll keep that in mind. We haven't yet asked for your age, so if you think this is important, please put it also in your profile under additional information. We have not yet decided how many will be selected by country. We probably have about 10 to 15 by region, but it could be more if we have, many of you are very active. So we don't want to set that in advance, and we don't want a country to get a champion unless that champion is actually very dedicated. Yes, so we are using different tools that we have embedded in the platform that we can measure your online activities, and we also have the tools through social media. So I'm not an expert on what all these tools are called, but we have them, and we'll use them to measure. But we encourage you to share our messages, and also, as Frances said, she will send out an image and a sentence to encourage others, and we will be able to measure. If you tag us to your messages, we will be able to also measure that. So we encourage you to read the instructions that we'll send out to you early next week with exactly the step-by-step on how to upload a publication, how to engage in a discussion, how to engage on social media, etc. So there is no travel required. We don't ask you to do any travel unless you're doing it on your privately or as part of your work. I think there's a lot of things you can do in your immediate community and at the local level. So these are not expectations at all. And I see that there's somebody that also has a nonprofit organization. A way to showcase the work of that nonprofit organization is to go to the call to action, to post the commitment from the nonprofit on what the commitment is for women's economic empowerment. So in terms of French, you are welcome to engage in discussions in French. Yebe can also support in terms of if you contribute stories to the I Am Woman campaign, we get some of them in French, and we are actually translating them to English. So they come in both languages when they get posted. The rally starts today with this webinar, so get going. I think we have covered most of the questions, and I think time is past when we had expected to finish. But maybe, Diana, do you want to just mention something about the activities that you can get involved with already next week?
Yes, next week is a very exciting one. The international community will celebrate 3 important days. This is the International Day of Rural Women, the International Day of Food Security, and the International Day of Eradication Against Poverty. It's a great opportunity to join all the events which will be organized here at HQ, and watch them online, live stream. We will try to assure the live tweeting for the majority of them. And also, we will organize a Twitter chat on the 16th of October. Sorry, I'm rushing a little bit. I'm thinking already about November. Probably this is the week of the month when you will start as a champion. So I'm thinking ahead of time. So don't forget for now, 16 October, the Twitter chat on the International Rural Women Day. We will talk about the importance of rural women activities, how they can change, how they can take action in their communities. We will also see the framework and the developments under the new SDGs. 9:30 New York time. We are waiting for you all online.
Thank you so much, Diana. And actually, we're also kicking off a campaign tomorrow. Frances.
Yes, so tomorrow we are launching a campaign called Every Purchase Matters that focuses on the power of conscious consumerism. So essentially that means that as an individual, we have a really big responsibility to support gender-responsive companies with our purchases because they get our money, and that's by casting your vote, essentially with your purchase, you're letting the companies know what you want to support and what you don't. So by supporting good companies, then we are helping women who work there, and we're helping companies that have gender-responsive policies and letting them know that that's what we want to see. So we'll be starting that off tomorrow with a blog that explains this concept a little bit more for some of you who aren't familiar with it. And that's a really great way for you guys to get involved because as individuals, sometimes it's hard to say what you can do because women's economic empowerment seems like such a broad issue, but that's a really great way for individuals to get involved. So if you're wondering what you should post your commitment to for the SDG, then that's also a really good idea. And so you'll be seeing a lot more of that starting tomorrow.
Thank you so much, Francis. So I'm just seeing October 11 as the International Girl Child Day. So please email us. I see many of you are asking for the direct emails to our regional coordinators. You find them on their profile pages. So just go to Yebe Diallo's email, for example. Kasum, we can give her your email address, but you can find hers on the About page. And for that matter, you just take our first name dot last name at unwomen.org for all of us. That's our emails. I saw somebody also asked about Emad. In terms of the, somebody is based in New York, we have RSVP for the International Rural Women's Day event. On the platform, you go to the events page and you can RSVP if you'd like to join that event here in New York. Similarly to other events, there are events happening in Nairobi, in Cairo, and there are places where you can just go and sign up on the events page. In terms of men, there are a few questions on whether you can tell stories of men supporting women's economic empowerment. And if you look at the way we have conceptualized the name, I Am Woman, you have a bracket around the WO. So you are a woman, you are a man, and you can see that many stories have already been contributed from and about men who are supporting women's economic empowerment. So please, we'd like to see them as well. Somebody's asking about the campaign, when it will end. I'm not sure exactly what you're referring to, if you're referring to the I Am Woman campaign, which will go on at least till February. And then we will take a decision if we reconceptualize it or if we continue the campaign as it is. But it will go on at least till February. In terms of the rally, if that is what you meant with the word campaign, it will go for a month. Eduardo, what is the end date of the rally? 8th of November is the rally, and on the basis of our measurement by the 8th, we will announce the following week who have made the champion 2015-2016. And if it is about the conscious consumerism campaign, it will go on until the 15th of November. So I hope I covered whatever your campaign was covering. What is the price of the champions? Eduardo, do you want to talk about the price?
Yeah. I think one of the things is how many opportunities it opens for you. So being a champion is like an open doors for a lot of opportunities in your career, in your personal life, but it's also a way to gain global visibility. Our past champions, they have doing great, and they gain like global visibility when they start to be a champion. So I think it's unparalleled opportunity to be recognized as a global champion and for work on women's economic empowerment and for contributing to that. So I think it's you see how amazing it is. In our newsletter we usually show like champions in action, and you see some of the outcomes of the champions projects and how they benefit communities and how they benefit themselves. So you can follow that as well. Hope that answered your question.
And I would just like to congratulate Sabine creating social impact is price enough for me. So thank you so much for that brilliant comment. Encapsulate everything, I think. We do have the list of past champions. If you just Google, not Google, sorry, if you search in our search box, champion, you will get the records of previous champions. So you will see exactly the first time we had 29, the second time 44, and the third time we had 60 people. You'll find a record of exactly who these people are. We encourage you to be in touch with them, and also we know that previous champions have been able to guide new champions, so we encourage you to also get in touch with them. But I think we are well overdue, and I'm sure you have many other things to do. We will follow up with what we have promised you, with the guidance of everything. And you find our contact details on our profiles. You can go to empowerwomen.org and go to About, where you find About the team. You will see all of our names, and if you click on the hyperlink on our name, you'll get to our individual profiles where we have our contact emails. Again, you can also take our first name, last name, @unwomen.org. Eduardo will be sending out the presentation after this webinar. So you have our name and the spelling of our names, and you can just contact us. You can also, most productively, I think, is to contact us at empower.women@unwomen.org, which is the team email where everybody access and look into. How many men have participated in previous cohorts? I don't think we have that offhand, but we can look into it. Kasum, we'd like to share that with you. I think it has been maybe a third of the groups that have been men, so we welcome your commitment to women's economic empowerment, and we are really looking forward to you being active. Ahmad, when are you coming to Tunisia? I think we will make sure that we look into the countries. In case we are visiting your country, we will let you know. But I think once we have the dedicated group of champions, it will be easier to make those connections. Are you measuring your individual profiles or your NGO's profile? At this point, we are measuring the individual, but we encourage you to also engage with your NGOs and contributing that way. If you do it from your profile, your personal profile, any contribution about your NGO, that would be recorded under your profile. So if you go in and look at your profile page, if you have already made contributions on the very right of your profile, you have something that we call activity stream, and that's where we can see exactly what the kind of contributions you have made. Have you uploaded a publication? Have you contributed to a discussion? What has been your engagement? It will be all recorded for your own and the community's purpose to really see what have you as an individual contributed to this agenda on women's economic empowerment. Please send any additional questions to empower.women@unwomen.org. And I think we need to close. Many of you are very busy, and the weekend is here for many of you. So we would just like, as a whole team, to congratulate you for having expressed your commitment to this issue so far. And we really encourage you to be active during this month and make the cut to be one of the champions 2015.